Last year, Aliya was fired from her job. Her confidence was shaken and she felt so lost. But before deciding to move forward, she needed to deal with the experience she had just been through and what she was facing because we found out it wasn't just being fired that impacted her, it was actually what she had gone through before she ever left. And we were unpacking all these layers and we realize she realizes, importantly, that her value and who she is has nothing to do with her job. I'll never forget that Zoom call. The, 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 the look of relief on her face. She even laughed when she said her husband had noticed a difference in her and wanted to know what was going on. So today I'm not coaching. Today I'm listening, just like I did with Aliya. Because listening is the most important thing I can do for you. Today, we're just friends having a cup of coffee, chatting about what's going on in our lives. Because, I think Stephen Covey got it right when he said, too often we listen not to understand, but we listen with the intent to reply. We get so caught up formulating our own response, we're not actually listening to what the other person is saying. So today I'm listening to you, and here is what you've told me. You're not happy. You're not fulfilled in your job. You're in chaos every day, and you just are trying to keep your head above water. You've told me you're so excited because you got the job you want. You have your seat at the table. But now what do? Imposter syndrome is starting to set in. You've told me that your boss doesn't do one-on-ones. They barely speak to you. So if you need something, you have to email them and just hope they'll give you a reply. You've told me you just got a new job, so you're the new kid on the block. How do you capitalize on this opportunity? How do you make your mark so that others notice you're in this role? But you've also told me you want to impress your boss, but you don't know how. Your annual review's coming up. What do you say? How do you talk about what you've accomplished? How do you talk about the value that you offer? You've told me that you're in a toxic work environment and you just want out. One of you told me you've been in that toxic work environment and you got out. But now what? At least that was a devil you knew. Now you're stepping into a new environment and you're not quite sure. You could be like Aliya and you've lost your job. And now you need to deal with all the things that come with that experience before you can move forward. You've told me that you feel like you're not meeting your full potential and you want to know, how do you get back? How do you get back on track? You've told me that quote, what got you here won't get you there, describes your circumstances. You feel like you've gotten to where you are in your career, but now you need help reaching the next step. Let me tell you, please hear me when I say you are not alone. Do you need someone to listen? Just to listen, not to formulate a reply, but just to listen to understand. I know when I faced similar circumstances in my career, that's what I needed. And I know what you've been through because I have been you. You need to be seen, heard, and understood. That's how you feel appreciated. So today I'm listening and I'm having a cup of coffee. And you may reach out during this video. I see we have some people with us. You may reach out afterwards. That's fine. I'm here to help you. I'm available to listen whenever you need. Happy to treat you to a cup of coffee. Happy to grab a few minutes on a Zoom call. But I know how important it is for someone to listen with no agenda. Just listen to you and let you get it out. Get it off your chest. And just know that someone is listening to you not to formulate a response, but to understand, in fact, what you're going through. So, for those of you who are joining me live this morning, I'll get to your comments. Good morning, Eileen. Thanks for being here. I always appreciate you joining. Good morning, Randy. Happy Monday morning. Happy Monday morning indeed. It is a cold day here in DC this morning. Chris, thanks for joining. How frustrating it must be to feel stuck in a place like you're describing. Chris, that frustration does come out in conversations. It's also, Chris, it's also the feeling of exhaustion. Like the person who told me the toxic work environment, they're just exhausted. And honestly, Chris, on the Zoom calls, I can see the exhaustion on their face. They're not sleeping, they're not eating, their mental and physical health are taking a toll. And just to physically see that play out in front of me on a Zoom call is absolutely heartbreaking. But it's not for me to say anything, it's for me to let them talk about that frustration and that exhaustion, because they need, we all need somebody to listen to us. That's the key. So you're right, Chris. It is frustrating to be stuck in that place. And yes, it does absolutely affect every area of their life. You are exactly right. And that pervasiveness across their life is why the exhaustion has now just become too much. That's what I've been told. It's time to make a change. What is that? They may not know, but they know that they've hit their wall, and it's time to make a change. Hey, good morning, Eileen. Listening is the most important thing anyone can do, especially when you're going through something tough. It's so incredible that we live in a world where there are people like, well, hang on, there are people like you, Cicely, who care enough to listen, that understands what our lives entail at this moment. Eileen, I appreciate that comment. I do care enough to listen, because when I went, as I said, when I went through those similar circumstances, I didn't have anybody to listen to me. I had to figure it out on my own. And so that's why that feeling, Eileen, the feeling to be heard, the need to be just listened to without any agenda and just feel seen, I've been in that spot. I've been through many of the circumstances that I ran through with you this morning that people had told me about. And having to deal with that myself without anyone to talk to, without anyone to listen, was a pretty tough situation. And quite frankly, it's why I even do these coaching videos in the first place, because I know people are sitting there who don't have help. And they need someone just to listen to, but also someone who's going to bounce ideas off them and be that resource for them. So that's a lot of the reasons why I do these calls, Eileen. So thank you for mentioning that, because I know what it's like to sit there and wrestle with this stuff. And you just need someone, to talk to. And so it just kind of builds up that exhaustion and that frustration. And so if I can be that person for you that you need someone to talk to, it would be absolutely my pleasure, and I'd be grateful and humble to be able to be part, just to have a conversation with you. So, Randy, there's good exhaustion, putting our energy into something we love, and there's bad exhaustion, putting our energy, fueling that toxic environment. That's a great point. I like the dichotomy there of the good exhaustion because you're excited, but the bad exhaustion that seems to absolutely drain us from being in that toxic environment. Randy, I like that. I like that comparison. That makes a lot of sense. That's a great point. I'm sitting here thinking about Randy's point, thinking that's powerful in and of itself. That's great. I love that. So, listen, like I said, I'm not coaching this morning. I'm not going to do a long video today. Today is all about you. It's all about you. If you need someone to listen, just reach out. Sometimes Messenger doesn't do it. You can reach out, but if you want to hop on a Zoom call, I'm always happy to have a conversation. I'll drink my coffee. You can tell me what's on your mind, and that's how it'll go. So I leave you with this thought today that, believe it or not, the transformation you're seeking, the success, just the peace of mind that you're seeking, it's waiting for you. It's seeking you. But you've got to take that first step and acknowledge that whatever circumstance you're in, either you got to get out of it, or like the person who got their new job, they've got to capitalize on it. As Randy said, there's the good exhaustion of that new job and you're energized, and there's the bad exhaustion of just having a job, a soul-sucking job, absolutely crush your spirit and crush everything about you. That's what you need to share. That's what you need to get off your chest. So I'm here to listen. Reach out anytime. Listen, you all know me. You know how to reach me. I am on Messenger. You can certainly, rewatch this video on YouTube and subscribe to my channel. You can reach out to me there. Some of you have my email that you found, and you also reach out to me there. I'm available whatever circumstances there may be. Have a great day.